Ladies and gentlemen, gives me great honor to always connect with you. I always post on LinkedIn, read some of the posts, and when I have time, I comment. And I see a lot of great posts coming out of the Middle East, the Arabian world, Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Egypt. And really, it's exciting to see the number of youth that are very passionate about their career. This has been a very difficult year. 2020 has been very hard for everyone. There's a lot that lost their lives in millions. And there are a lot that lost their jobs in millions. And there are a lot that lost their businesses in millions. And there's a lot that their business slowed down and barely made ends meet in millions. But on the positive end, there's a lot that thrived also in the middle of this crisis. The online business, logistics, and so on. Zoom is one of them as an example. There was a lot of online meetings and offline. So we need to think positive about the things that are positive, and we need to think positive more even about the things that are negative. It's true. Reality says that there's a lot of negative in our lives, but also there's a lot more positive in our lives. So how we embrace the positivity and how we drive it forward is what makes a difference. Is how what we impact, what our minds bring to the world. But if we tend to set and dwell on what's negative, we will never grow forward. Prosperity does not come by thinking negative. Prosperity comes by thinking positive. It's been a difficult year for everyone. The experience might be different for some, but yet the outcome is a lesson. A lesson. For me personally, it's a lesson to appreciate the most basic things in life. Instead of being busy all year round, a call to my dad, who's in the beginning of his 80s, rather than doing it once a month or twice a month. How about every 2 days, every 3 days, just to check in on him and give him some love? How about my siblings that I hardly get in touch with? We all live in different parts of the world, and we're all busy. I miss a lot on the basics. And the outcome of my lesson out of out of COVID-19, 2020, is what did I do with the basics? The basic human life. The little happiness here, the little hug. I don't have to be busy 24 hours. I need to be busy in what I do for work. And then there has to be some time to share love and follow and pursue also my passion. My passion in cooking, spending time with my animals, and so on. On the other side, in 2021, I think we should all be positive, especially in the region, the Middle East. I think Saudi Arabia is a very exciting economy. I look forward to all the changes that are happening in Saudi Arabia under the leadership of the Crown Prince. I'm also excited about the Emirates and what's happening in the Emirates on the economy end. But I'm also happy to see how startups are dreaming and pursuing their passion and how far they want to reach with their passion. Often I get messages in my inbox that says, how do I build my global brand? Don't rush. You don't have to rush to build your global brand. You need to capture the local story first. You need to have relevance locally first, then regionally, then globally. No one grows instantaneously. Just like what I always said about brand. It doesn't take a brand just to place a logo and package and expect a lot from it. No. Brand is just like human. It takes a while to grow. But it also takes the organization to be consistent in their values, to be consistent in their message. So the values of the brand becomes part of the experience, part of the delivery. You can't change the consistency and then expect that people understand what your brand stands for. Same way, same thinking. It took many of us to build our brands, lots of years and long days and hard days and meetings here and there and learnings and revisiting what we did and taking other experts' opinion, because that's part of the learning process, and it's part of building the brand also. Part of building the brand. So you need to think positive on what you drive forward. You need to think positive of how you build things. And don't expect things will happen just overnight. No, it won't. It takes years. Rome was never built in a day. Rome was never built in a day. And I don't think anything can be built in a day. This is our nature. You cannot change nature. But what you can do is work to improve what we have today. Add value. Be part of the change. Now, I often spoke about brand and marketing, and I've always said, oh, wow, why are we always going through a repetition? Why do we have to tweak what exists elsewhere and call it a different name? Arabize it, for example, and launch in our local market. Our market has been commoditized for a number of years. The understanding of brand and branding, even in terms of definition, how both play a different role, doesn't exist. Only very few people understand that, and how brands become more relevant than just static. Static brands do exist. It's simple. You define the business, you add the logo, you pass everything else that's in between, and then you jump into communication, which you hire an ad agency, and bam, there's an ad. There's a billboards, there's TV. So what do you guys think of the ad? What do you think of that copy? Oh, it's an amazing copy. Really? Wow, it made me laugh. But that's not the value what the customers get in touch to. Even if you raise awareness, you need to create that relevance with the awareness. You need to understand that every organization has a bottom impact. That impact influences your internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, whether their impact is on values and appreciated values, or even the financial benefits of the organization. An organization cannot just grow by bubbles. An organization, and it would never grow by bubbles. An organization grows through hard work, through scientific thinking, a line of thought. It was not just a brand. If brand was just on art alone, art, creativity, and so on, I don't think any brand in this world would have suffered. I think every brand would have thrived. I think there's a lot of different creativity. But in fact, brand, that's not how brand. There's science to brand, there's art to brand. Most miss the science side of brand and focus on the art. And there's a very, very extremely few, not only in the region, across the world, that understand the science of brand. Very few. I have traveled across the world. I've been on a number of stages, from New York, LA, Seattle, London, Paris, Rome. I spoke in many of these cities. And I rarely do meet some people, even on LinkedIn, I rarely meet some people really depth on brand, the science of brand, that really bring out how to make a brand relevant and impact the bottom line, or even the most important stakeholders, influence them, the employees, to remain loyal. As long as your employees remain loyal, your customers will be loyal. Now, seeing all this, where do I see 2021? I'm actually very hopeful about 2021, where a lot of people are being negative. In terms, not because of the vaccine, no. I'd like to think even beyond the vaccine. I'd like to think what this world will bring to us. Negative stays long, but we change. Our behavior changes. We are influenced by everything that happens around us. And we've learned from all the negative and transform that negative to positive. That's the change that impacts. So what did I learn from my experience in 2020, given that COVID was a problem, was that I have to understand that what I do today is not only about me, it's about everything that's around me. Everybody around me were impacted, are still impacted. Some countries are facing the second wave, and they're in lockdowns. I'm in the consultancy business. I was hit hard, but hey, I remained positive. So, as we come close to this end of the year, I wish you all the best. And the best will come to you. Remain positive and think that 2021 is a beautiful year. From me to you, much love. Stay safe.